9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Just making sure that the microphone wasn't muted as usual. I hope you guys are well. Sorry for the lack of streams in the last couple of days. Kids are starting school again, and with that comes a lot of added things that I need to do, and I haven't had time to stream. In fact, I haven't had time to play anything. Yeah, that's when these things happen, there's always gonna be okay, hold on. My wife. Okay. Okay, so as in all things, when your wife texts you, because I know she's extremely busy. She's got that lifestyle where her work start. Because I was in an industry once where, if I'm working, the whole world cannot exist for me except my work. So it's really tough having a relationship. In fact, people used to tell me that in my industry, right, the divorce rate was exceptionally high. Yeah, I had guys working there who were either married more than 4 times or refused to get married. So no one was married to the one partner kind of thing. It was like every marriage fell apart in my specific hemisphere of work. Yeah, these are directors. Yeah, so anybody who was a director had no life. Yeah, because the levels of stress are incredibly high, and you almost always have to give up something to do the job really well, which is quite sad. So she's busy, and I can appreciate what she's going through, and she's got lots on her plate. So I'm fully supporting what she's doing. Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, today the reason I'm not really moving very aggressively with the save. There's one very important reason why. We all know that there's going to be a patch coming in January, which is middle of January, and I'm expecting a kind of a big patch, not a winter update content patch, that kind of thing, but more like something that might alleviate or address some of the concerns with the UI that many people have. Right? I'm fairly certain SI is not the sort that is going to live and go like, oh yeah, this is the new diamond that we have, but hey man, it doesn't look like a diamond, it looks like a turd. Okay, I don't think they want that, because when it was released, it definitely didn't look like a diamond. It looked like a turd. Okay, so yeah, I guess they want to make sure that they address some of those concerns. I mean, at least make the game look good. I mean, is it playable? Definitely is. I think the match engine is okay. I mean, I'm not really had issues with the match engine. I know others might have issues with the match engine, but I can't say I am encountering them yet. Could be the volume of games I've played. I mean, I've finished a season at least. I've played with other teams, but I haven't done any of those. I don't do simulations. One thing I don't do like run a simulation, see how a tactic does, or run a simulation, and I like to play the game and see how the game adapts to decisions that I make. I do think that there's certain areas of the game that the AI can be, there's lots more improvements that the AI that can be made to the AI, especially when it comes to making in-match adjustments, right? That I do think. I also think that the human player is more capable of coming up with more better tactical systems than the AI, because the AI is still working off a template. It's like saying this, right? Okay, the AI is Sir Alex Ferguson, I am Pep Guardiola. That's the way it's set up. So while Sir Alex Ferguson is rooted in his 4-4-2, I am playing more when I say I am referring to any human player out there. You're playing systems that are a bit more imaginative. You might be playing a 4-2-3-1 that morphs into like a 3-1-6. So you are playing it at a level that the AI is not playing it at yet. So that is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think the AI is there, and I don't ever think the AI can ever be there. So the human is always going to have that distinct advantage of the AI, man. I'm not the special one. I am the... Okay, let's talk about the special one for a moment, right? Jose Mourinho. Now, I at this, I was part of a discussion just a few days ago where we were talking about the best managers that United has ever had. And I was very quick to point out the best manager undoubtedly is, of course, SAF. But the second best manager, I told them, is really underappreciated, Jose Mourinho. Now, people are going, no, but he's toxic, he's this, he's that. I'm looking at him, okay, for the teams that he had the most success with, why didn't they come out and say it was toxic? Why is it only teams that cannot, why is it only sides which have an issue at the management level that have, there is where you see the toxic label being added. Because if you look at it, Chelsea, all the most of the players, after he left, right, all the players loved him. What was one of the things that John Terry actually said was, we love the fact that Jose Mourinho makes it about himself. He takes the pressure off us. See, that's the thing about Jose Mourinho. When it comes to player management, it was his style of management where he goes on, he takes the press on directly so that it doesn't fall on the players. So, and he as well, if you look at the numbers, he didn't do too badly. I mean, his overall record was still quite good. But if you look at all the other managers that followed, can't say the same. You can't. I mean, the only one that came closest to him was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That was about it, man. The rest of the managers failed. Ruben Amorim, to his credit, right, when he picked up the team, I think it was 13, then he became 15, then now it's... When he got fired, it was 5th or 6th? And I was at that point already saying that they have a chance of making it into the top 4. And then, lo and behold, he's gone. So, Jose Mourinho, to me, is still a special one. Yeah, he is. I mean, he is a good manager. I think the reason why people, I don't know why people always say, no, like, he look at all the players he said they couldn't fit into the United squad. Where are they now? Where are they playing? Where's Garnacho playing now? I can't name the team, man. Oh, most of the players are in they don't get it. Some of those players can't even make the starting 11 now of the teams that they moved to. So look at that. That's something to bear in mind. So I think there's a lot more to be said about our friend Mr. Jose Mourinho. All managers at United after Fergie were bad managers. No, look, arrogance is a right. First, arrogance is a right. You earn the right to be arrogant. 2, we have to remember that his arrogance was directed to the press, so that the press focus on him. That's what, do you remember? Players like John Terry and Didier Drogba, they loved Jose Mourinho. In fact, Didier Drogba wasn't even the first choice at Chelsea. They wanted some other player. They wanted some big signing to bring. I mean, it was Jose Mourinho's desire to bring Didier Drogba to his team. So, you see, the thing is, when you look at a manager like Jose Mourinho, there's a difference between managers and coaches, right? A manager manages the squad, the tactics, the players. But the problem in United is they want a coach, right? They want somebody who teaches them a style of football and plays a style of football, but forget about managing. We'll take care of the management or the players. That's the problem in United. United don't solve their problem, they can, good luck. They're not going to care. And the guy is coming back is Mr. Yes Man himself, Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is the ultimate yes man. He will say yes to whatever the board wants him to do, and that's it. That's not the person that you want at United. You see, since Sir Alex Ferguson left United, United have been a club that do not want the power to rest with the manager anymore. They want to call the shots. So that is the problem with United. You can have 100 managers, nothing's going to change. Nothing will change United. You can put Jurgen Klopp there, they'll still fail. You can put Carlo Ancelotti there, they'll still fail. You can put Trapattoni there, they'll still fail. I'm sorry, it will never work United. Manchester United needs to get rid of the owners, not the managers. That's the problem in United. The problem is the owners are the one making the decisions. They are the players. You can bring in as many players as you want. Okay, listen. If the whole world combined, gave them $10 billion and say no strings attached, they'll still screw it up. There's no difference. The thing is, you have to look at all the players that, you see, there are a lot of players out there who have hailed Mourinho as the best manager they've ever had because he took the pressure off them, and that is very important as a manager. If you cannot take the pressure off the players and put it on yourself, and that's what Jose Mourinho, he put himself in the middle of a target board and made himself the target. Why not? I think that is the hallmark of a phenomenal manager. So I think that that's the problem there. And Ruben Amorim, this is the problem for Ruben Amorim. No? Ruben Amorim, technically he is a decent, he's got a brain up there for tactics, right? He had his own style of play. He wanted to come there. And he probably thought that when I go there, I'll get the players that I need. Because they can't be that stupid, right? Bring a guy who's running a back three and then say, hey, you know what, play a back four. Lo and behold, that's exactly what's happened the last couple of weeks. Everybody's coming here, why can't he change his tactical system, blah, 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 blah. And people are blaming Ruben Amorim for his tactical system. Mark my words. You think every manager comes in there and knows how to play a game? I'm going to play a 4-2-3-1. I'm going to play a this, I'm going to play a that. No, lah. I'm sorry, lah. The United has spent more money on terminating the managers. If they keep one manager there and tell the board to shut the fuck up, okay, they can bring in a lot of good players. How much have they wasted on these managers? Every manager right now is a perfect platform for somebody to go there and get retirement money. Man. They were stupid. Why isn't a manager everyone knows can only play one system and not exactly that? And so Ruben Amorim, I thought at first they were going to change the plan. No. Just like Jabi Alonso. Jabi Alonso is not a manager, he's a coach. See, Jabi, when he went to... You see, Jabi also had the same problem in Real Madrid. He went there, back three system. He only knows how to play the back three system. Again, sorry, this is not kind of style of football we want. The players want to play that kind of system. To hell with you. I'm not going to shake the opposition player's head. And he got ego and all that. Boom. You see, when it comes to Real Madrid, it's not a coach they need. No. They need a manager. They need somebody who comes in and tells them, hey, you shut up. Let me play the tactic I want you to play. You don't like it, get the hell out of this place. Jose Mourinho can work there. Jurgen Klopp can work there. Managers who have this I am greater than you personality, they can work there. That's the thing, you see. That's the difference between a great manager and a coach. Amorim is just a coach. And then you have the managers. You got Jurgen Klopp, you Jose Mourinho. These are managers. The only difference in this whole world is Pep Guardiola, because Pep is both a manager and a coach. He is the combination of two. No? Because you see, a Klopp cannot coach. Klopp is forget coaching, okay? He can't coach to save his life. He needs players like Snyder. He needs those guys who come in to help him with all the tactics, right? He's got his lieutenants. These are the ones that are tactics-wise, okay? He's not one of those. So I mean, like, whatever, that's my personal opinion, of course. Anyway, today, I want to do something different, right? So we've been focusing on scouting and all that stuff. So, that Football Manager is going to be releasing a patch coming soon, right? So I'm assuming they're going to address a lot of the UI issues. That could be better. I'm definitely expecting a much better UI. Okay, I'm up there thinking there's going to be trees and all kind of nice things. I'm looking from the trees. I'm looking at very nice. No more big forest with no road through the forest. Now we'll have trees with paths, lights and all. Like at least now I go through the forest, got a path for me to go from A to B, that kind of thing. That's what I'm expecting. Last time we were working in a bloody reserve with nothing there. You have to bring your own compass, cut your grass, go through the lalang, come across the river, can't cross the river, don't know what to do. At least now SI is going to build a bridge for us. That's how I see it. So I'm a bit optimistic. I haven't seen... FYI, I have not seen I'm not on the team that's looking at the game. I have no idea what the game is looking like. Okay, so in a way, it's a blessing. Because it makes me the harshest critic ever. Okay, because if I have got access to the game prior to you guys, then it makes me, when I actually play the game, then my opinion is going to be different. Because then I will have already known. And I can already see the workarounds. So this is actually better. Okay, so... what we're gonna last couple of weeks, right? Oh, sorry. Take this out for a while. I'm gonna show that later. Okay. So thing is that I have been covering a few things, right, last couple of weeks, which is we're looking at creating stats and stuff for the game, right? Not stats. We are doing like a deep dive into numbers into the game so that I can scout players, see my own tactic and stuff like that. So I'm going to start because I know this is all covered in my guide. Okay, I wrote a guide, and those guys who are in the Discord or you support the channel, you probably got your hands on one of these guides. So as you know, in the guide itself, I indicated here, right, things like pitch tilt, right? So all that stuff, expecting attacking. I give you all the numbers as well, how you can analyze players and stuff, and then know what to see in a player, blah blah blah. There's a long list of stuff, okay. So I'm just gonna break it down, and then what we'll do is okay, come back. See, I gotta carry my own screen. Okay, so looking at pitch tilt. Okay, so pitch tilt, right? I know this. Ignore the fact that this is what I would call a how do I put this? This is a mistake from SI. Okay, all right. Yeah, it should say fewer passes against in the final third and lots of passes for in the final third. Okay, so this zone is a green zone. So okay, basically when you look at this picture, right? Only thing to remember, I have actually simplified it for you guys. Pitch tilt. Okay, so if you're in the bottom here, is a good sign. Why? Teams camping the opponent's half, sustaining pressure high up the pitch. It tells you what kind of team they are, right? You see a team here, it means they are very entertaining. They like to attack and they like to defend. So basically, there will be there's going to be a lot of passes against them in the final third, and fewer passes for in the final third. So there's a lot of zing-zang in the football. Okay, here you gotta be very careful with these teams. These teams here in this quadrant, they're very good on the counter. Okay, so what happens with these teams? This one is the anti-football teams. Okay, so they don't allow you to make a lot of passes. Okay, but they will get quite a few passes against you in the final third, right? So they break down your play in your zone, and these are teams, right? They spend all their time defending. Okay, so these are teams that spend all their time defending. These are teams that you worry about a counter attack. These are entertaining teams. Lots of goals in the game. So how do you approach a game like this? So when I'm playing against these teams, I'm very possession orientated. My tactics are going to be possession orientated, meaning I want to keep the ball, I want to work pressure, I don't want to give away the ball silly. So I'm looking at my midfield transition, very, very important. This one, midfield in transition, you get it wrong, you pay the price, because once they get possession of the ball, you're in trouble. So what you're trying to do when you're playing against these teams is you're trying to deny what the formation is like. Like, 4-4-2 diamond, right? It needs the wings, right? Fullbacks to play. So what you do is maybe apply pressure on the flanks where the fullbacks are operating so that they cannot play the tactic. Maybe it's a box formation that you're playing against, like a 4-2-2-2-2 or a 5-2-2-1, right? So those are like very boxy, right? A lot of players in the center, right? So what you do, you keep those fullbacks wide, you keep the wingbacks wide, give them no options to pass into the middle so that they shut those options up. So you have to tactically be on the ball with this. So you have to come up with the right tactical system. Even if your tactic has been beating a lot of teams 3-0, 4-0, when I play against these teams, I have to be a thinker. Okay, I have to think. I have to be very careful. Now, if I'm playing against these teams, it means that while I'm pretty certain they will not score again, they won't be camping in my half, right? But there will be a lot of action going both ways. Okay, because the football scorelines could be 4-5, 5-4, 5-3. So you got to be careful with this kind of team. So what do you want to do in this game? Keep the ball. Don't allow them to see the ball. This one, you keep possession, hold shape, very good friend of yours. Okay? So basically, you want to keep the ball. So against teams like Stuttgart, I tend to keep the ball really well. Against teams like Saarbrücken, I keep the ball really well. Victoria Cologne, remember this team? This team was leading the table for a long time because this team entertaining football. So what I did in the game when I was playing against them was I denied them the ball completely. So we had a very high possession numbers in that game, and we won the game. Ultimately, won the game 3-0. Now, these teams here are teams I'm very careful with because they will hit me on the break. Now, I lost to this team because I took them for granted. So I kept attacking them, and boom, I conceded a goal. Rot-Weiss Eisen are not a strong team in my league, but they punish me every time I took them for granted. So against these teams, I was very lackadaisical. I was like, hey, what's the problem? I never checked this graph. I didn't know. I wish I did know, because I would have got in and go like, I better be careful with these 5 teams. So when you play against any team in this quadrant, what you got to be very careful with is their counter attack. So while you may be happy attacking them like there's no tomorrow, you got to be looking for the counter-attack, because these teams are very, your Catanaccio type of tactics. They'll sit back, they defend for long periods of time, but they have a counter in their hands. and they will punish you. What about these teams? In this quadrant, right? Any team that lands in this quadrant, go Hail Mary. Go completely nuts on them. Why? Your tactic can have as many attacks. You can go camping, you can throw numbers, you can play one defender, go up against it because they're never coming out. They're not coming out. They got nothing to do. They don't want to play football. It's a form of anti-football, but these teams don't even want to try and score goals. Like, they'll be sitting back and they get hammered. So you want to throw everything at this team. Don't hold back. So against all these teams, I was attacking them all the way. Right? So this is how you look at pitch tilt. When you look at pitch tilt in the game, pitch tilt is one of the best things in the game to help you understand the kind of football you should be playing. Now, yes, I know this all depends on OPPDA numbers, but I'm assuming the SI will get those numbers right at the end of the day. Okay? All right. At the moment, this has always worked for me. So it's always worked for me in that sense. Now, the second thing that you want to bear in mind, so now you got to know how you're playing against those teams, right? Okay. So if I go down here, how do I know my players? So expected attacking output is something that I like to use, right? Where is it? There we go. Now this will tell me which of my players is the genius. The great goal creator. That's it. So if you're scouting for players within your league, right? You're looking for any player in this group. Okay? A player here, create and score. A player here, create, maybe don't score. That's it. It's that simple. This is one of the graphs, right? If you're not into data, right? You're not into like, hey, I want to look at the numbers. I don't want to look for the numbers, blah, blah, blah. This is one. So you want to scout somebody, come in here, right click, go and scout him. Then like here, this one we right click and go and scout him, man. He's so young. So we go and assign a scout player. So you can go and scout them because you see my players here. But this player is actually better than this player. And this guy, apparently, he gets into, look at him, open play expected assist and non-penalty XG per 90. Means, right, this guy gets into very good goal scoring positions. On top of that, he can create chances very, very well. So this is very, very simple way for you to go and identify players very quickly. So these are the two. If you're struggling to find a creator in your team, right? These two. You go to the first one, tells you the kind of style of football the team is playing. Because it's still important, no? Because if I find a player from here in this list and he belongs into the category of teams that likes to sit back, it means this guy is not bad, man. Because he's from a deeper position, he might be able to create chances. Right? So these are things that you can do, okay, to go and figure things out. But now what we're going to do is something different, okay? So I'm doing all this because I'm not pushing my save until 31st of July. We're going to stay in the June period for as long as physically possible because I do expect there to be a patch this week or next week. Okay? Coming soon. Around the corner. Yeah, all the players overlap. But then if all the players overlap on the bottom left, right? If all the players overlap on the bottom left, I'm not interested in this entire group. Why would I be interested in this group? This group is not important. This is the most unimportant group. They cannot create chance. They cannot get into goal scoring positions. Because these are all probably DMs. All these guys are probably defensive midfielders. They never get into goal scoring positions. So you don't worry about this group. You only worry about these two. Maybe it's to some extent this guy as well. Because this guy gets into goal scoring positions, but he cannot create chances. So this guy has gotten into goal scoring positions, but doesn't create chances. See? These guys. So they know how to arrive. They just don't know how to score. That's it. Because they cannot create in those positions, right? But they're always in good goal scoring positions. So they get into good goal scoring positions, right? So maybe if you had this kind of a play in your hands and he's in getting a good goal scoring, tell him not to create. Give him a more simpler role in the tactic. Shadow striker. That's it. Don't worry. He's always getting good goal scoring positions. Don't ask him to create. Just ask him to go and score goals. That's how easy it is. In fact, this is the I rate this, right, as the best piece of the data hub. I don't really look at anything else in the data hub. I always, when I'm looking for players, I come here. I go like, okay, this guy's not bad. Noah Darwich is not bad. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, scout him as well. Another 19-year-old. Okay, come in. Hey, scouting in progress. Okay, what about this guy? This guy, not so good. I rather Because this is my player, David Phillip. What role do the those create? What role do I play? I would play this. Okay, any player here is like a shadow striker. Any player here can be AP. He can be AM. He can be given a bit more latitude. He can be an F9. Right? Because these guys are getting into good goal scoring positions and can score goals. So if these guys, you should give them the responsibility of trying to score goals. Like here, David Phillip, right? Last season, he had 15 assists and 12 goals. This is my player. So in my tactic, he ended up playing on the right. No, it doesn't matter. You see, like here in this case, this guy is playing in my tactic, he's playing as a winger. It's not just a role, no. You have to look at your tactic as well. Look, my tactic, what role does he play? He plays as a winger. But the way I've set my tactic up, okay, is I've done it in such a way that he will always arrive in a goal scoring. He will always be in a goal scoring position. So I play him opposite the flank of his preferred. He's playing on the left. See, he's playing with the left foot, right? So he's always coming in on his preferred foot to score goals. And he's also getting into position to create chances for other players. So he's going to come in on his left foot to score goals, right? So I got a channel forward. He's running the channels. I got a free rows moving around so he can get into the box. So when you create a tactic, it doesn't matter that you want to use him as a shadow strike. I mean, if you wanted to, yeah, you think of it in simple terms, inside forward and all that kind of that. That's a simple terms. But that is like tactic creation, like the very basic level of tactic creation. That's like, you creating a tactic is the basic level. You haven't thought of you want to get into advanced tactic making, right? You got to think about, okay, I'm making this space. He's going to come in from the right. He's going to go on his left foot and he's going to get into goal scoring. But now, how do I make sure that he gets a space? Bam. Now, if you can think like that, you've arrived. Because then, that's how I've done here. Channel forward, free roll. So he's always going to get goal scoring position. This guy's going to get into goal scoring position. So I can play both of them in goal scoring position. So if I look at my data up again, right, I look at my expected attacking output. David Phillip is here, but Wolfram is not here. Yeah, where's Wolfram? Wolfram doesn't do so well. He didn't do so well. I don't know where Wolfram is. What are we looking at? We're looking at open play expected assists and non-penalty XG, right? Okay, so we come back here. Open play expected and non-penalty. Oh man, this one. Custom view. I'm going to do another custom view very soon. Yeah. This is too big. Okay, I'm going to make a new one. Okay. All right, I'm going to create a new view. So create a copy of this view. This is too much information. You guys even I will get a headache looking at this. Okay, create copy. Okay. All right, okay. Now, what do I want to do? Then save, right? I have to save the view first. Huh? I can't save the view. Export current view. Maybe I export the view. Okay. All right. BTN. Midfield creators. Okay, all right. This is squad view. Okay, save. That's the only way I can do it, right? There we go. All right, so that's where it is. They don't have a save. Insert, create copy, rename. There we go, rename. Okay. BTN. Midfield. Creators. Squad view. Okay, alright, that's the one. Boom! Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove a lot of things here. Remove this. I'm only going to keep the ones I like. Remove this. Fouls against that one. Opposition, open play crosses. Okay, Ken. Open play. Okay, wait. Open play crosses. Cross attempts per 90. Wow, this is a lot of information. But it's good to know whether they are cross heavy player or not. Okay, never mind. Passes attempted, I don't want. Passes attempted. Passes completed. Pass per se. Okay, I mean, all three can be helpful. Okay, keep passes at one. Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. It takes a lot of corners. See the way you see the thing. My mind thinks very differently. That 2.1, 2.3, it definitely takes corners. Okay. So like, very near. Oh, there, no set pieces, no set pieces, no set pieces. Ah, got set piece once in a while. Set piece once in a while. See, no set piece, no set piece. See that, but that's how you tell we go follow is a set piece taker. Okay. Progressive passes, chances created. I don't think we need this. We are too much information. Okay, expected assists. We don't have open play expected assists, non-penalty XG. Okay, we don't have open play expected assists, which would be nice. Okay, assist per 90, assist goals XG, non-penalty XG, conversion rate shot. Wow. Okay, I tell you what, remove all this. Non-penalty XG. Non-penalty XG. This tells me how often he arrives in the goal scoring positions. Okay. All right. Conversion, shot on target. Oh, man. There's a lot of information, man. Okay. Free kick remove. Penalties remove. I don't want all this really. Okay. I just want to know creators. That's too much information. Okay. Remove. Too much information. I just want creators only. That's it. Shot percentage. I will forget this. Okay. Shots to one. Remove this column. Cons on goals from outside. Okay, now let's see. Simpler already. Okay, now let's see if I can simplify this a bit more. Okay, now let's simplify this. Do I want to simplify this? Because I want to make one just for the midfield creators. Okay, minutes, fouls against. This fouls against means why fouls against? Because if he has a lot of fouls against me, he's also pacey. He takes on plays, he creates chances. In dead ball situations, he gets free kicks, dangerous positions like this. This guy is 68, David Phillip. He's fantastic. I have to play him. He's always drawing the foul. See what I mean? Now, minutes played is handy information because sometimes you might have players who only play a short while. Okay, so could you talk a little bit more about how you create the space of the winger? Hey, Marley, okay, creating the space of the winger, there are two things you can do, right? One is use focus play. So if you focus play, you're moving the team to one side of the pitch. So focus play is an extremely good way to create space. Problem is, you're creating space on the other side when you're attacking. Okay? So in this case, what you're doing is when you focus play on the left, like you see the focus play instruction in your tactic, right? You got tactic, your tactic has got focus play left, right, or both flanks, right? So if you go both flanks, does it mean you don't create space? Of course not. It just means that when you're going on the left, space opens on the right. And you also sometimes go down the right and space opens up on the left. So what's a good way of setting this tactic up? Play on both sides, you play a winger who's going to be very wide. Winger is a phenomenal role. Play around Dalter, a wide forward. These are great roles because they're on the opposite side. They're hugging the line. And then when they come inside on the flank opposite the preferred foot, right? So if he's on the left side, he comes in on the right? So when he comes in on the right, he's going to take on players. This is when you're looking at things like, oh, is this guy going to draw the foul? Or can he create chances? Then you can tell, if this guy's got very good chance creation, then he's going to come in there. He might beat the player and do a cutback across goal. You see? So you got to think in terms of, so what can that player give me? So when sometimes the player attacks the box, he's got fouls against, he might drive into the box and try and score a goal. Sometimes the guy will beat the player, but because he's got high vision and decisions and passes, he might do a cutback and look for creating goal scoring opportunities. So a lot of the time when you're trying to create space, you're looking at a combination of roles plus the use of the focus play instruction. The focus play is by far the best way to create space. By far the best way. All right, so we got, okay, now we come inside. This is a lot of information, but this is about all the information that we need. Okay, because if I wanted to break this down, then maybe I'll break it down into the very core ones, right? So we got fouls against, this is core information. So the other core information is this, open play key pass. So let's put this here. Now, open play key pass basically is a very good metric that tells us how good the player is at creating chances. Okay, because at that point in time, okay, it's open play, right? So he has created a pass or a shot, right, that has led to a goal scoring opportunity. The problem is we don't have open play expected. See whether we got open play expected assist or not. We got expected assist here. Yeah, so I want to put this here first. I want to see open play expected assist. Whether we have that in the game or not. Stats, passes, chances created. No, they don't have open play expected assists. Maybe it's in the general, because I know there's some funky stats in all the, in a lot of places. No, that's a problem. Got error, crosses, mistakes, movement, passes. That's the only one we have. And then we got stats, general, non-penalty. See what I mean? Non-penalty expected goals is here. So I'm looking for any open play expected assists. They don't have. This one is only this one. Open play, crosses, open play. I see what I put it here by accident. I know in data, right, when we look at data, we're looking at open play expected assists. Non-penalty XG. That's it. So this one is expected assists per 90. Okay. So this is basically as good as it can get. Because in the game itself, we don't have open play expected assists per 90. We only have expected assists per 90, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I hope I'm right. I don't think they have it. Yeah, key pass. Yeah, there's no open play expected assist. So you can look at open play and then expected assist. That will tell us if it's got high. Sometimes what I do is I look at open play key passes. That means total number of chances. No, okay. So open play. So they don't have open play key passes here. They only have key passes, right? Insert column. See, they don't have open play key passes. Right, that is also not a stat that is in the game. So the open play key pass is an open play pass that led to a shot. So they only have so open play key passes per 90 is here. Sorry, yeah, this is here. But we don't have open play expected assists, so they don't give us that. So I just look at this. If this number is high, okay, and this number is also high, okay. This guy is doing okay, that means in open play, he leaves a lot of chances. So this is okay. This is like 2.4. This is okay. Now you see, the weight has got 2.4 and then 0.3. This is quite good, okay? Now this will tell us whether it's heavy on crosses or passes. So we only need those two info. Key passes per 90. Do I want this? This will tell me the ratio of corners. Yeah. If I look at this will tell me how heavy is he involved in set pieces. Okay. All right, that's it. Okay, now what else we need? That's it. No, now these are all raw numbers. Assists per 90. If you already got this, expect assists, we don't need this. Then we just leave this. Okay, assists per 90. Assists. Assists per 90. Assists. Goals. Non-penalty XG. Okay, that's it. Very nice. That's all I needed. Okay. Non-penalty XG. We don't want XG. Yeah, I don't want XG. But the reason why I like this, I don't like this. I like this. Why? I like to rule out all the penalties. Yeah. Okay. So now we got all this information. Do we need all this information? See, non-penalty XG per 90 is 0.0. Look at that. XG 1.36. So a big difference it is. Non-penalty XG. And then you got 1 XG. That means he gets into a lot of goal scoring positions. Yeah, but this could also be penalties, you see. That's the reason why I don't like to have these numbers. And this is a total. So we're going to remove this. This is a total. So remove that. That's a total for the season. We want only the per 90 numbers. Yeah. So it gets very, very confusing. So I just remove that. So now I just gonna get. Okay, so now we got all the. I think that's it. No, I don't need any more numbers. Yeah. Open play cross attempts. Do we want open play cross attempts and cross complete? Okay, it tries a lot. And that cross attempt. This is kind of cool. Passes attempted per 90, 80.6, 70. Progressive passes is good. Okay, progressive passes we want. How forward take, then we put this right at the end. Okay, progressive passes per 90 and pass percentage. Okay, so this tells me how, progressive passes, right? How do I explain this? You need to know what progressive passes are for that position in a sense. Okay, like defenders have very high progressive passes. You look at, wow, he's got 10. I'm so excited. No, actually, it might just be that you compare a defender to a defender. You don't compare a defender to anyone else, right? You compare a DM to a DM. Don't compare a DM to an attacker. So you always have to compare that position with that position only. Yeah, so that's how it works. Hey, Zunza, how's Spurs fan, man? Yeah, so only got expected assists. So we can only use these numbers, okay? So passes, okay. So now all these numbers, do I need them? I don't need them. I don't need all these numbers because this number is too much information. Crosses, attempt, and all that. We only need to know crosses, no, the ratio. But we need to know the value. Like sometimes a player makes a lot of crosses. Like here, you see that you can tell this guy he's big. No, he's very big on crosses. Like here, you can see 6.7 and then 1.3. This guy is making a lot of crosses, like a huge number of crosses. Like something like this, number like this, paltry, maybe a handful of crosses. But without knowing the raw numbers, people won't know. Yeah, they're just guessing. So I'm going to leave this in. Passes attempted by 90, probably not important. Let's remove this column. And passes completed by 90, not this column. Pass percentage is enough. Yeah. All right. Now, goals from outside the box, probably handy. Okay, that's it. Yeah, simplify this already. Okay, export this. Yo, baby! Did it. I'm so happy that this one is done. Okay, so BTM midfielders, creators, where are you? There we go, squad view. Okay, final. Save. I don't know. I publish it to Steam. I don't want to publish it to Steam. Yeah. That's it. We got it. So we got it all on one page. Almost all on one page. Yeah, it's all on one page. So right now, if I want to look at just my strikers alone, right? This is a great way for me to, midfielders alone, this is a great way for me to like understand them. Like remember earlier, only one player is the top of all the tops. Top of the pops, David Phillip. Open play key passes expected is 2.4, 0.3. Apparently he's damn good, right? Yeah, sorry, wrong page. Where the data? Where's the data? Remember what we're looking at just now? Expecting out of the moment there. This one. Open play expected assists. They have it in the game, no? In the data hub, but they don't have it as a number that we can pull out in the spreadsheet. Yeah. Open play expected assists per 90 is 0.33. Non-penalty XG per 90 is 0.30. They give this number. Open play expected assists. Okay. Open play expected assists 0.33. Now we go back to our squad view. Sorry, we only got expected assists, no open play. So we can't tell. So apparently it's 0.33, right? So this is as close as you're going to get, 0.3. Which is okay, you know. I guess we can accept this number, right? 0.3 and 2.4. His open play key pass, okay? And open play is 0.3. So that means that he creates a fair few chances a game. Key pass per 90 is just total number of passes that he has created that led to shots on goal. Okay, so that's 2.5. How many of them were good enough to be a goal scoring chance? How many of them were from, this one will include corners. Okay, this is all the open play passes that led to shots, including crosses, but not from set pieces. Okay, how many of them were good chances? 0.3. Hey, Matty Zucks. Thank you for your 23 months, man. You know how to explain better than coaches that are experts in TV shows and podcasts. All right, okay, thank you, man. Thank you, man, Zunza. So now you go into the game. If you go into the game and you see a player, right, he's got a lot of open play, key passes, right? Don't get excited first. Because he's just like a cross and somebody took a shot, no. But now we know he's expected as 0.3. 0.3 is not bad. It's still not bad because think of it as an XG in itself. Okay? So that 0.3 translates to an XG for somebody else. He's got a chance creation. So this is not bad. So this is quite good. So now we look for somebody else that's like him. Okay? Sort it out. Do we have anybody else that's close to him? Marvin Ritmuller. 2.1, 0.2. Maximilian Weber. 2.0, 0.3. So we have two players. See Maximilian Weber? This guy? 2.0, 0.3, in that list that we just saw just now, he was up there as well. Here we go. Now, you can take the same concept after that, right? You can do the same thing. Now we have this, right? So now if I want to go and look for players. No? Yeah. What I will do is I copy all this on a piece of paper. And then I'll make a view for the scouting page. Alright, so we now got to take this and go to the scouting page. Okay, this can work for fullbacks, can work for midfielders, any creator. So this is like the creator page, no? Because this other information here is good to have. So it kind of puts things in perspective, like, maybe does he do a lot of crosses? Does he do a lot of passes? That kind of thing. Okay, does he get brought down in the box? So I always play him, David Phillips. So this is one of the prime reasons why we gave him a contract, because he's extremely important. So Marvin Roetmuller is a fullback that's doing the same damage as this guy is, but you look at him. Look at his crosses. 6.7. Open play cross 1.3. That means he's doing a lot of crosses. No? That means a lot of it is coming from crosses. This guy is doing a lot of crosses as well. A lot of crosses in a game. Right. But he is like in the final third, right? So the problem in this game is it does not tell us the length of the pass or the cross. That's the only thing that's missing from the chalkboard. It used to be there. Last time I could go into the game even deeper, dive into the chalkboard, right? Then go and take look at 10 games and then extrapolate. Basically, I'll go to 10 games and I look, okay, how many passes of his is medium length, short length, long length. I used to do that. No? Then I go, okay, so he has got 10% of his passes are very long, more than 30 yards. And then the others are medium length. Majority are medium length. So, okay, so he can play the short. He plays basically medium to long pass. So, okay, chances are quite a number of them are crosses. Then I look at another player. A lot of his passes are short and medium. So, a lot must be on the ground and short passes. Cutbacks, most likely. See, that's how you tell. But the game doesn't tell us this. So, looking at that, progressive passes here, 4.1 for his position. Then Maximilian and Weber, 4.1. So not bad. They both are playing at a roughly the same level passing wise. But look at the passing numbers. And then you can see how heavy is on crosses. Cross attempts 23. And these are total, crosses are completed. That's it. I mean, I would probably remove this as well. And remove this as well. Because it's a total for the season. Yeah, there used to be a cross conversion rate. I think we have a cross conversion rate. This is conversion rate for shooting. Yeah, all right, let me see if I got cross conversion. Or they have a cross percentage number. Cross completion ratio, that's what I wanted. Okay, that'd be cool. Okay, auto size all the columns. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so cross completion ratio is 23%. This is all percentage. 23. Crosses, this is a cross completion ratio. This is conversion, short conversion. So this is actually a percentage. So it cannot get higher than 100. Apparently he did one cross in his entire career and it worked. So now, yeah, the only problem in this game, this annoying thing about the viewer, you got to do this again and then it will lock itself in. It's like it's either you like doing this or you hate doing this. And there's no two ways about it. You cannot get happy. You cannot be like the sort of person that, I wish that it's not for everyone. I just enjoy this part of the game because for me, I like diving into numbers because then my tactics they become a bit more funkier. The more I dive into numbers, the more funkier my tactics become because then I know what my players are capable of doing. Because I know that this guy can create crosses, right? He crosses a lot, right? And he can play those passes, right? So I go like, oh wow, this guy, I'm gonna create a tactic that's maybe strikeless, try something more with it. So that's why it's so handy. So we got this done. So now I'm gonna do another one and take a picture of this first. Because I'm a cheat code. I don't want to do it all the way. I'll allow my wife to send me another message. Oh, okay. All right. I thought she did. Oh, she didn't. Okay, so it's alright. Kulos bananos. Okay, take a picture. Because I'm too lazy. At least now I can. Some more, daddy has got very eyesight problems already. Okay, so now we go to scouting. We're going to do the same view now for that. Okay, so now we got a player database. Problem with scouting is you need to do it here. Now I did one recruitment creators database view. So let's see because I was very much more careful with this. And I noticed I did it perfectly. It's all there. We don't need any more information. Open play, key pass, expected assist, progressive passes, fouls, passes attempted, open play crosses, attempted, ability, potential. I love it. You guys don't have to work so hard. It's all there already. So from this view alone, I can tell when I'm comparing other players. So I have to go, it's like, okay, this guy is good at creating chances, 0.2. This is very good, man. These numbers are excellent. Because we know our player. Our player is 2.1 and 0.3. This guy is 2.2, 0.3. Hey, we should sign him, man. Fouls against 79. People bring him down. Passes attempted 41. Open play crosses attempted per game 8.2. That's quite high, but decent. So this is how you can scout for players very quickly if you have all that information. So I did this already. It's already for you guys. It's already there. So I done that already. I did it on the stream for you guys. It makes it very easy for you to scout players then. As long as you understand what you're looking for. Because pass completion only makes sense when you see when you look at pass completion numbers, right? I know people are very they love pass, they love numbers. Okay. So I am okay with pass completion, but it only is like in a context, what? Like, if I'm a DM, right, my pass completion numbers better be 180, 90, 85%, 90, because a lot of time you might be recycling possession. So the numbers for a DM should, when you're a scout for them, it's got to be 85%. Otherwise, if you're looking for a simple defensive midfielder, right, so you should look for that. But, creative, if I'm looking at a creative midfielder, somebody who's going to look for chances, playing for a deeper position, then you look, okay, so you give him, allow for 75%, but then you look at progressive passes. You look at open play, key pass per 90, that kind of thing. So how many of his passes led to a shot on goal? So let's look at our DMs now, okay? So we drop that. Now we look at our defensive midfielders. So how do I use this to identify my defensive midfielders? Same thing. We ignore this group here because all crosses, right? But now we look at our DMs. So we got all the DMs now. Defensive midfielders only. Remove the attackers as well. No need attackers. Bam. Okay. Now we look at our defensive midfielders. So among this group of defensive midfielders, who is the one that created the most chances? This guy. But he's playing as a fullback, right? So we can ignore him. Rip Muller is playing as a fullback. Now we look at Max Christiansen. Correct, man. Open play, key pass. Notice, right, when I used to play this guy, I was always having him high up the pitch because he can create. He doesn't have to. You don't need him to make because he's playing in the DM position. Don't expect him to create assists every single day because those players they are the pass before the assist. So if they can create one good chance or two good chances that lead to a shot in a game, I'll be happy. But most of the time, what we want from them is high pass percentage, and what we want from them is progressive passes. We need them to be playing the ball forward. So his benchmarks become 5.5, 90%, open play, key pass, this number, right? So now if I go to the scouting, again, where's my scouting? I'm a bit of an idiot. This player database. Recruitment player database. Yeah, okay. So now we got creators database view. Okay. We got progressive passes here. Okay. Not bad. Sometimes I get things right. Okay. I get things right without trying too hard. Okay. But it'd be nice to have passing percentage numbers. But, progressive passes more important here. Okay. So we know that progressive passes need to be at least 5 for our DM. Okay. So now I'm looking for a DM. So I'm looking at the same thing again. Edit search. I'm looking for a DM now. But I want a DM that's playing, he can be Max Christiansen's future player. So what did we got earlier? 1.0. Open play, key pass, right? And then progressive passes, 4.5, I think it was. So that's the benchmark. So now we go inside all these DMs. Open play, key pass, at least one. Ooh, we got a couple. All DMs. DM. At least 1.5. Oh, not bad. Progressive passes, 6. This guy, 8.0. 1.2, 7.2. Scout this guy, scout this guy, scout this guy, scout this guy. That is how you do it. I'm looking for a guy now, a DM who can create chances, who can play as a segundo volante and get up the pitch, right? Progressive passes, 6. Any person who's got high progressive passes is in our team. All right, fouls against means this guy is even more enticing. No? Because this guy is not only able to get the ball forward, he's also brought down quite a lot. But then what you do is you go to this player, right? When you're scouting him, what's the most important thing you have to find out? Performance. Come here. What position was he playing in? So if he was playing as an MC, very appealing. If he's playing as a DM, very appealing. If he's playing as an AMC, I'm not interested really. Why? As an AMC, he should have been doing better open play key passes, because our open play key passes is 2.0 for our AM. So look at him. MC. What do? We send a scout. Tariq, go to whatever your name is, you become a target, man. Okay. I don't know his attributes yet. So if I wanted to play a game without looking at attributes, it's very possible in this whole thing, without looking, because I used to play the game without attributes, but I hate playing the game without attributes nowadays. It's because very simple reason. Guys, I like to see my green arrows. How can I play without looking at the green arrows? It's terrible. Hey, Zayda, Lali, how are you, man? So if I were you guys, okay, no, I'm not pushing through this season. I'm just talking about scouting, how to identify players using data, and how it can work in the game. So the simplest ways to do it, using just like eyeballing, because you don't need a lot of information in the game. So the most important information for a creative player is going to be open play key passes, expected assists per 90, progressive passes, fouls against, maybe passes attempted and crosses attempted, because you need to know whether he completes a lot of passes in 90 minutes, or does he do a lot of crosses in 90 minutes. But you need to know them for your own players as well as players that you might be trying to scout. So we know, so this guy, scout him because he's fantastic. So look, we want to scout this guy. So this guy is scouting, and then who else? This 1.3 is okay. Then progressive, this guy is looking sexy, man. Yeah. All right, and then this guy, 1.3, 0.1. No, I'm not interested in this guy. This guy is a waste of time. Waste of complete time, because this guy is a sideways player. He's like, you give him the ball, right? Don't expect anything great to happen from his feet, because what chances are most of the passes are going sideways, because we're comparing all the players in the same tier, right? But if you want to be absolutely sure, what you do is you come to this player, you have to scout him, go to form, and find out what positions he was playing in. That's all. Okay. Then we got this guy, white center. Sometimes the role will tell you, like white central midfielder, you know, like this is like Cairelo, hardly see the ball, see the ball, so pass one shot, side pass back to the midfielder in the center. Doesn't take anything. So this is another good clue as to whether this player is a good signing or not. Like sometimes you just look at the role, because this football manager does a really good job of telling you, what the guy is doing or what he can play in. So that at least they get that right. They don't get that wrong. Here again, progressive pass 7.8, very good. 1.0 key pass. The baseline we have is 1.0. It cannot be lower than 1.0 because our player is giving us 1.0. Okay. So this guy, whoever we sign, cannot be less than 1.0. If it's 1.0 or less, forget it. We have not done ourselves any justice. Okay. So here 7.8, 1.0, not too bad. So this guy gets scouted. Somebody can sign him. In fact, right now, if I wanted to, right? So he's available on the free, right? We just want to know his personality, okay? Fairly loyal. So if I haven't looked at his attributes, I did not look at his attributes. Right? Approach design. I would sign him because it's free. He is free, free as a bird, baby. Okay. So I can only afford free signings. So this is one way you can approach the game and make it really easy for yourself. What about defenders? Defenders is only one thing. What about interceptions per 90? Tackling percentage, hitting percentage. That's all you need to know. Okay? Tackling percentage, interceptions per 90, hitting percentage. That's all. 3 things. Defenders is the easiest. DM, the easiest. Interceptions per 90, hitting percentage, tackling percentage, and maybe 4 things. Passing possession numbers. Passing possession. That's it. That's it. Simple. How easy is this game? This game is so easy, when it comes to finding the players. Only 4 things per role, per position. Hey, don't tell me strikers you don't know. XG over goals. That's it. Strikers the best. Open play XG is XG per 90, right? How often does he get into goal scoring positions? But that is subject to tactic. Because if the tactic they're playing really sucks, then the data is going to be pointless. That is the only reason why when it comes to strikers, I only look at XG divided by goals. I look for the ratio. Because if his XG is like over goals, if his goals divided by XG, if his goals divided by XG is greater than 1.3, that means this guy's is phenomenal at finishing. That's it. So simple. 4 metrics to look for in every single position, not more than 4. Defenders, interceptions, heading one percentage, and what's the other one? Heading and tackling and interceptions, right? Interceptions, interceptions by 90 is the primo numero uno, most important. Very important. In fact, if you had a player whose heading percentage is 100%, tackling percentage is 100%, and his interceptions is like maybe 2.0, and the other guy is 2.1, but his heading is 85 and his tackling is 95, I'll take the 2.1. Because the guy with the higher interception is more valuable than the guy with the better heading and with the better heading percentages. Because you want to make sure that the heading percentage is at least 85%. But the interceptions is the most important. That is up there as the most important statistic in the whole game for defenders. That's it. And you can play in so many ways. Once you get all these numbers, right, you understand how these numbers work. It's so easy. The game becomes really, really simple. I covered it in my guide. So for some of you, y'all got the guide now. So it's easy for you, I think. Because I wrote it all there. I give you 0.25 to 0.35, right? So if you look at the shots, so if you see like XG, right, you go into the game. If your play is always giving, every time you see his XG per shot is 0.10, 0.05, 0.25, and you're saying, you look at a striker, right, and you sign this striker for like 100 million, and then you go like, hey, how come he's not scoring goals for me? What can I do to make him a better striker? It's not what you can do, but first find out whether it's your fault or his fault. To find that out, look at the XG per shot, and don't you dare go and divide it. Don't divide. You are the sort of person that goes there and I'm going to divide all the numbers and get a number. Then you fail. What you need to do is you need to go every single game. Problem is the SI don't give us a short map. So you literally have to go into a game and view the whole game again. So watch and look at, you have to pay attention while you're playing the game to XG. Every time he shoots, right, what is the XG on that shot? And it will tell you when you're watching a game, because the stats, right, will change, right? Every time the shot is taken, and then you see the stats, the XG number will change, right? And that's your best clue. I'm sorry, that's the best thing that SI can give us at the moment, because nothing else is in the game is coming close to that. Yeah. So we've done all the views. I've done all the views for you guys. Yeehaw. Let me keep my notes. I want to keep my notes so it's not in the same place. Oops. Why is my window not coming back inside here? I do hope my window got in. Because if it's not there, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah, baby, it's there. Okay. Spurs fan, what do you mean sort out the database? When I hover over each of my columns, I don't get a full description. Is that in preferences? I mean, you don't. I think it's because sometimes it doesn't happen. Hey, keep Manoban. Elisha, how are you, Ben? How are you? Sorry, guys. I may not have addressed all the players to everybody who sent me a comment just now. I'm so sorry if I couldn't do it. Okay, because I had to have the window on one computer, my app on another. I literally ran out of, for a guy with 3 monitors, I ran out of space, which is crazy, okay? Yeah, so I do expect SI to come up with a update soon. Yeah, is it today is what? Wednesday, right? Should it most likely will come out tomorrow, if anything else, because they have been giving out updates on Thursdays, right? So, and holidays are over as far as I know, SI. Unless they're still on holiday, which is distinctly a possibility, but I doubt it. I doubt they are. Like going to player database and using the views to sort ranks the players. I don't understand. I still don't understand that, Spurs fan. If you can explain it to me, I might be able to. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. Sort out the player base using this. Sort out the player base. Wait, sort out the player database using this. Yeah, I do sort out a player database using this. There we go. Like, you go to the player database here. You can sort it out. Like, you can do the whole player database like this, no? You're gonna search for a player, right? DM. This is what I do. You're looking for a specific player, right? Now, this I put a go. So you create a filter. Hopefully SI allows to import filter. And there we go. All the players in Europe who've got nice open play. So we can send out scouts to scout them. So on this side, that's why I created both views for you, right? So I got one recruitment of creators is on this side. Right, so it's here. So you guys have all the views inside the Dropbox folder. It's all there. Yeah, so I just make sure that Dropbox is running. Oh, Dropbox is running, and that Dropbox should be running, and then it should all be in there. Oh, I also got to make sure that I actually put it into the Dropbox folder because it is not so intuitive nowadays. Okay, so this one we already have, right? Creators database. So this is the squad. The squad one is the new one that we did. This is the one. Okay, so I'm gonna try and see whether I can export this now. I have to put it into the Dropbox folder. Export current view. Yeah, problem is you can't. Yeah. This is the one that is here. Yeah, it doesn't automatically go to the Dropbox folder. I have to put into the Dropbox folder myself. So BTN creators. Man, this is a lot of work for view. Man, but I know how it can be, like, you know. Sometimes you play in the game, you get quite annoyed. No, that all views are here. These are the all views means these are older views. So date modified. There we go. This is the latest one. Okay, this is the latest one I created. I'm just gonna make sure this copy is the right one. Okay, copy. And go to this one. Go to Dropbox. This got there's one. Dropbox public views. I put it here. There we go. So we got the BTM midfielder creators squad view. This is all there. Oh yeah, I think all the other views are in the private Dropbox for the guys on Discord. How would you find players like Gundogan or Scholes in stats? The one that's a good passer that moves out good off the ball. They look for Scholesy, right? Okay, whether a player moves well off the ball, there's no statistic. Yeah, you can't find one in the game that tells you how good he is at moving off the ball. There's nothing in the game. So even in real life, if you go, right, what statistic tells you he's very good at moving off the ball? What, distance covered per 90? That's not enough. Right? A bike can be running up and down. It's the same thing. Right? Do you know it's a good position or bad position? You can't tell, right? So the myth is to find a player like Gundogan or Scholes, all you look for is pass completion numbers, progressive passes, and open play key passes. That's it. Because Scholesy could create a pass that led to a shot on goal, and his pass percentages are good, and he's also a lot of progressive passes in Scholesy. Scholesy was very good at playing the forward pass and breaking through lines, just like Gundogan. Gundogan also is very good at playing the forward pass, right, and also occasionally creating the chance, right? So open play keeper. So you're looking for a player that plays good, has got higher pass completion numbers. You're looking for a player that can create open play chances, and you're looking for a player that plays progressive passes. These are the three things that you want. Same thing. Creators are all the same. This game is very, very simple. It is not as complicated as real life. Yeah, the dynamics in this game is very easy. The problem is when you start thinking in terms of, oh my god, this game must be complicated. I'm looking for the same statistic that they have in real life. They don't. Right? This game is very, very, at its very core, is a very basic game. It is so basic. It is like ridiculously basic. Yeah. Scholesy, maybe you look also falls against. Good at keeping the ball, and players are trying to take him down quite a lot. Because a lot of the time you find creative players being targeted with fouls. If you are looking at this, you look at Max Christiansen. Number of times he was brought down 14. Look at Thor Jakobsen, number of times 10. See, these two players, right, they are very different. No? Christiansen is always linking. They're both playing the DMC position. Both of them. They've always been playing as DMs. Now, Christiansen always plays forward passes and gets linked up, but it sometimes creates goal scoring chances. That's 1.2. Okay, expected assist is 0.1. I don't expect it to be high. And you never expect a DM or a players like Gunungan to create a lot of assists, right? They don't create a lot of assists. But what they do have is this: pass completion numbers. Progressive passes decent, 5.5. So you look at the two of them, 5.5, and look at the other guy playing the same position, 4.8. Because he has more sideways passes. So it's better for you to look into the game and go and look for the numbers that are numbers for those kind of positions. Now, if you wanted to be a bit more, the problem becomes this. This becomes the issue with the game. The issue I have always had with this game is when people start going and say, hey, you know what? I want to go into the game. I'm going to go to a Squawka. So somebody goes to Squawka or what is it? IBRef or one of those websites, right? They pull out the information. Oh my God. Gunungan has got, in this one, 5.7 progressive passes. And then his open play expected assist is on a different number. The problem becomes real life numbers calculated in one way compared to SI's numbers calculated in a different way. You can't compare the two. This is the problem that some people have with immersion in this game, because their immersion level is contingent upon those numbers meeting exactly the same kind of numbers in real life. And I've been saying this for years. Can never be. The only numbers that can come close to real life numbers are raw numbers, like cross completion numbers, pass completion numbers. Even then also, that's not even accurate. Most of the time I see is things like goals scored, goals defended. That's about it. No, I don't see anything coming close to real life numbers in the whole game. So I would never want to compare it. It's a yardstick. Yeah, you can use it as a rough yardstick. Like maybe possession numbers 75 to 80%. Yeah, look at it closer to that. But I wouldn't say it's a. If it's a simulation of numbers, it won't make sense. If you're comparing these to football and trying to make them meet in the middle, you're gonna be very believe me, for many years, right? I tried to argue that case. The number is not the same. Like my Opda drama that I was having the last couple of months, right? I was very upset. Opda is not the same. Like, how can it be this Opda? And SI was silent on that matter. They didn't want to address it. No one in SI even. I made such a joke out of it that I was thinking SI would respond, but they didn't. So I guess SI don't want to respond to that. Maybe for reasons of their own. And I suspect it's got to do with the way they calculate the numbers. And the only reason I can fathom is the fact that their numbers are just calculated in a different way. So if their numbers are being calculated in a unique way that's only, common to Sports Interactive, we cannot compare it to Squawka or any other numbers in the real world. So we got to treat this game in its own isolated world where these numbers make sense in the game. But hey, which is the reason why I'm not having any issues with this game. Because when I play the game, I only compare the numbers to its own state. So when I play tactically, right, I look at the numbers going, okay, this is what the situation in the game, and I play against it. So I'm playing by its own rules. And that's why I haven't had an issue with this game. When I want to when I want to smash a team by a big goals margin, I look at the way they are playing, or they're playing. They're sitting back. They're never coming out. They're in that zone that earlier that I can throw everything at them. Kitchen sink, my mother, father, grandfather all can attack them. Okay, do it. They don't come out. And true enough, I score lots of goals against them. Otherwise, it'll be a 0-0 affair. I don't know if they know how to fix it or they don't like the way it can be fixed. I think it's their own. It's like, if you create a simulation, right, of football, right? Okay, the problem is this, right? We are trying to simulate what happens in real life. Okay, let me ask you a question. Have we ever been able to create a computer simulation that behaves like a real person? We can't, right? Nobody has done it. The most smartest AI still need to be prompted, and sometimes they don't behave like humans do. So how is it possible for us to argue that this game should be an accurate representation of humans playing a game of football when it can't do that itself. So human behavior is inherently unpredictable. So this game cannot ever accurately simulate real life football, because that is inherently unpredictable. Wait, who could have expected City to go on a bad run last season, or Liverpool to suddenly go, what happened to Liverpool this season? I don't want to describe it. Or Xabi Alonso having a great season at Bayer Leverkusen and then going off to Real Madrid and becoming a total flop. Who can? In the game, Jose Mourinho is always playing brilliantly. All his teams are doing very, very well. How come Jose Mourinho in real life is doing so badly? How come for many years United was doing so well in the game but cannot do well in real life? So you see, the thing is, this game cannot be a simulation of real thing. So the numbers in the real world can never be the same as the numbers in the game. It is impossible. It's impossible. So if we are going to say that these numbers must be the same as real life, then I'm sorry, man. It can never be. It's like you're waiting for some world which is perfect, and we haven't ever. It can never be. It's mathematically impossible for this game to be an accurate. It can come close. It can, in some areas it might be, but what this game does really well, and what this game used to do really well, and it has not doing right now, okay, is mimic the experience of being a football manager, which is the highs and lows of managing a team, the disappointments that you feel, the joy that you feel when you lift the title, the exasperation that you feel when you give a team a certain tactic, right? And then they don't pull it off. When you know that it's worked with other teams and you bring it to this team, it doesn't work. Why? And you're struggling to figure out, is it the player or is it me? You see, that it does really well. Until this year. This year, immersion has gone down the drain. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. To me, immersion in Football Manager is totally shite. Okay, when we won the title, right? I was like, in my heart, right, I wanted to switch off the computer. Do you know that day when we won the title and got promoted, I was like, damn it, man, I want to switch off this monitor. I don't want to play the game anymore. Because the celebration was the same celebration from the last 10 years. It's the same damn celebration. Everybody walking up, lifting a trophy. Yeah. Other maybe extra fireworks. Nothing else, no. There was no like pan around the stadium, fans are throwing, maybe suddenly there's a banner with your name on it. All hail the mighty. Something. Anything. Could have been phenomenal. That's just a bit different. They didn't have that. You see, for me, that is immersion. A cutaway to, maybe when I'm going through a bad run, right? The game does a cutaway of me, like, slamming my hands on the pitch or, getting angry, throwing a bottle on the side. Or, shouting when I'm berating the team, right? Or getting angry with the team. I've been saying this for years. SI need to do this. The problem is there's no jeopardy in the game. The problem in the game is not the simulation. The simulation where it's trying to be a simulation of is the human experience. That is what they are trying to do. And they were very close. For many years, they were doing that quite well. But they managed to add the honor roll. Remember the honor roll there after the season? I was quite happy to see that. Oh, this feels good, man. I remember. You remember? How good was it? I remember when your career started, right? They have the name of one of your best signings who did really well. And I was like, I remember this kid. Then it goes to a few years later. I remember that moment. And suddenly this year, it's not even in the game. I'm like, huh? One of the best features for immersion didn't even make the game this year. I'm like, what the heck, man? So SI's problem isn't whether the numbers are simulated correctly or not. That shouldn't be the issue that we did. That is not the mountain I want to die on, no. I want to die on the mountain, shouting and screaming, fighting for immersion, because immersion is the reason why this game is failing. Because when you lose a game, you don't feel like have any of you felt under pressure losing a game? I never did, no. Lose one game, no problem. 2 games, no problem. 3 games, no problem. 4 games, change tactic. change that. Why do you think I was changing tactics all this time? To what? To my ego, is it? You look at me, I can change tactics. No, I change tactics because I want to see the players get frustrated with me changing tactics. I wanted there to be a kickback in the game, meaning my players are not convinced about me changing tactics all the time. And maybe there's a revolt. How many streams were you here when I was doing things like shouting at my players when we were winning and congratulating them when we were losing? I was doing one entire season just saying the wrong things to the players during team talks and on the shout. Like when we are leading by 3-0, I'm berating them. And then when we are losing by 3-0, I say, okay, well done. Nothing. No confusion in my players. Yeah, maybe body language was showing a bit of confusion. But did the players revolt? No. Did the board revolt? No. What about press conferences? The same old press conference. So the immersion part of this game is so bad, it's taken 10 steps back. It's gone all the way back to 1994 when there was no immersion also. The only immersion was our imagination. We sit down and close our eyes in. We imagine a world where we are winning. Because back those days, everything was a floppy disk word. So right now, this game's biggest issue isn't the data, no. So when people go like, the data isn't accurate, I'm like, yeah, that's one thing, they will eventually get that right? No, it's immersion. Immersion is the biggest problem with this game. The biggest problem with Football Manager 26 is the absolute and complete lack of immersion. You can enjoy the game tactically, but there's no reward. There's no like big finale, Like you won this, wow. Or maybe a different cutscene, maybe a celebration scene where the players lift you on their shoulders, you have the trophy going, yeah, we did it. Or maybe the words like when you get promoted, maybe the words at the bottom, promoted to Bundesliga 1, something like that, right? Or maybe a different pose, right? Sometimes the players are lying down, yeah, or something, anything would have been good. They just didn't do that. It's like these guys who are making the game have forgotten the reason why people play games. No, I don't think so. This has been, look, if that is the argument people want to give me, right, or they're having their hands full of fixing the game's functionality, I'm sorry, that can never be a reason for lack of immersion. Because the reason why you play the game, you always have to address the reason why you want to play the game. One more game. Give the player the reason to go one more game. If you do that, functionality, the player will be able. If I guarantee you right now, right? If the whole thing, we had the honor roll in there or a trophy room right now, or different kinds of celebration scenes, right? When the players win, everybody would have forgiven SI for the UI. 100%. I guarantee you. How many would have everybody would given them? Okay, it's all right, man. I love the cutscenes, man. This year the cutscenes are so good. I want to play the game because I want to see a different cutscene. How much you want to bet? How easy is it to do a cutscene in the game? It is damn easy. The cutscenes are the easiest to do in the game. From an animation point of view, they are dead easy. They are the easiest thing to add to the game compared to doing a UI reshift. So they're gonna have to do it now. My advice for guys who sign players on stats should first go to check traditional attribute search. I mean, I would do it the other way. Yeah, I always look for stats first, then do traditional attributes. Always look at stats you always have to look at stats in context. Always do it. So far, I've not been wrong on my search for players losing numbers. No problems. Anyway, guys, today's show was meant to be simple. Meant to be simple. Although you're absolutely correct, though. There's no difference in winning a league game versus winning. Yeah, exactly. There is absolutely no difference. If I win the Champions League, it's the same as winning a league or getting promoted. There's no difference in the tree. There is absolutely bugger all difference when I win the Champions League. Do you know when I win the Champions League in Football Manager, I feel like, what the hell, man? I feel excited I won the Champions League. But that's about it. No. The game doesn't make me feel, well done, you won the Champions League. One small little achievement thing comes up, that's about it. Another thing, whichever game you play right now, any game you play, there is always going to be a sense of jeopardy or a sense of reward. There's always going to be jeopardy and reward. This balance that they have to do in the game all the time. Okay? All the time. Right? Jeopardy is very high. Like I play some games, right? Oh, I'm damn scared of dying because maybe if I die, my character dies with me, or I lose all my money. There's a sense of jeopardy I get in those games, right? But SI, what's the jeopardy? One thing, right? If you get relegated, right? There should be this option in the game, right? Where if you get relegated or you get fired from your job, your chances of getting the next job go down tremendously. That should be it as well. But now, teams are not likely to give you a chance at all. So you cannot, let's say you fail at the Bundesliga, or you fail you feel like you got fired after 5 games, right? Maybe you cannot get a job inside England anymore. Maybe you got to go and earn your Spurs in Scotland. I don't know. I think so. I think the only way you can do this game is to have your own immersion. I totally agree. Naipan has always been good. Even Naipan, right? He's available for free. Naipan, even by the numbers also, it does really well. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's very easy. If you can play, by. The problem in this game is you can go and play the game with attributes, or you can play by stats. It depends on different people. Personally, I like a full week build up to a final, for example. More news messages, club. Exactly. News from fans, etc. to make you feel. Exactly. I think that I agree with as well. I think that at the end of the day, right, when you play this game, okay, there should be this build up to a big game. There should be a build up to the cup final, right? And the press conferences have absolutely got to be different. Why do all the press conferences look the same? Why can't, like Champions League press conference, right? Suddenly you see, as you're going in, right? See, for years they've been doing this pitch side interview is just a new background. Why can't they do a pitch side interview, okay, with you see, why create all these avatars and not use them? I've never understood this, no. Why create the avatars and not use them? I don't get it. Never did. So let's see, hopefully they do that now. Anyway, guys, I have to go. I need to my kids are asleep. I have to get up very early tomorrow. And want to go and do more. Yeah, so tomorrow, hopefully we hope that the update is out. I hope the update is out. If the update comes out tomorrow, it'll be fantastic. So I'm hoping that today's stream helped you guys out, especially when it comes to looking for players using statistics. Now, of course, statistics is just one way of finding players, right? That's if you're the sort of person that doesn't want to do it by attributes. Right? Attributes are also great. If you find a player by attributes, fantastic. It saves a lot of problems. But what if you want to do a combination of the both? Also can. So there are some players available, especially if they're on free. Like sometimes you get players who are free, Also very good signings, but they don't play enough games. So you have to think about that as well. So attributes do play a big part in the game. And if you can also combine that with attributes, man, you're going to be a strong player. Yeah, I think there will be an update. But today is Thursday. Right? Today is Wednesday, so most likely it's tomorrow. I suspect an update is coming because tomorrow is Thursday already. And then this is a midweek. This is the time when SI is going to announce something. So thank you very much for coming, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.